Hi there, my name's Neil. I'm a language teacher, which means I've done a fair bit of travelling during my career. And wherever possible, I like to travel light, and if I can, that means hand baggage only. However, as you might be aware, a couple of days ago, Ryanair's new policy came in. So instead of being able to carry on a bag like this, you're now limited to a small bag about this size. So I figured it would be fun to see what it's like travelling with a bag that small, and I've booked myself a flight. So later today I'll be hopping on a plane to Brussels Charleroi, and I'll be staying out there in Brussels for 2 nights. So I'm going to pack as much as I can into this little bag, and I'm going to see what it's like travelling not just light, but Ryanair light. What I want to put at the bottom is a pair of trousers. I mean, I will be wearing a pair of trousers. They're fresh and clean. I just washed and dried them. But you never know. If you spill something, you might need a second pair. So I'm going to include them, even though I don't intend to use them. Then, of course, I'll need something to wear for the 2 days. So 2 t-shirts. Go down nice and flat near the bottom. I'll need 1, 2, 3, 4 socks for tomorrow and the day after, 2 pairs. I'll stuff them at the end as the t-shirts don't go all the way. Similarly, as well as the 2 pairs of socks, I'll need 2 pairs of boxer shorts. And there you go. Now, just as I said with the trousers, it's always good to have spare shoes. And that's not exactly something I have a lot of space for. So what I have here is a pair of sandals. Now, it's January, it's Brussels I'm heading to. It's not really the weather for sandals. These are very much just an emergency piece of clothing. And however uncool it may be, I think I'm going to need a pair of socks. So I do have some flip-flop socks with a toe that can go in the toe strap. So I'm going to include these. Again, like I say, as with the trousers, these are just for emergencies. So I'll stick them at the side. Okay. So, I wear glasses at times, not very often, but my usual case is kind of big. So I've had a look around a few drawers and I've found a smaller case. It's an older case. It's a little bit broken, but it does the job and it saves me a little bit of space. I'll put that at one end because it's quite solid. Now, looking at it, I have a fair amount of space left, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pack this little micro fleece jumper. I might end up changing into this later in order to make a bit more space if I really need to, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. The other thing, of course, is the temperature. It has been snowing. I might find it's a bit cold, so I might want to change. The other thing I have, which I will probably be wearing, is just this flannel shirt. I'm intending to wear that over a t-shirt as long as I feel comfortable temperature wise. Okay, so the other thing that's needed is, of course, toiletries. I have the obligatory clear plastic bag. Now, rather than using this sort of toothbrush case, which I've used in the past, I figured because I'm going small, I'll need to go into town and buy myself some of those little ones that just protect the head of the toothbrush. Save some space. I have a small bottle of shower gel, and that goes, and a miniature tube of toothpaste. That will be fine. And just to save a bit of extra space, going to take the box out and in it goes. I also want to have a towel with me, although my host probably will provide one. I have this clip towel, and if I'm really stuck for space, I can just pop that on a keyring and turn it into a key fob. But looks like I have space to include it in the bag today. Now, I will be travelling with my iPad and my iPhone, so I need a charger. I could take my Apple charger and get an adapter for the European, but I have this charger that came with my Garmin cycle computer. It has multiple plugs on it. Also, it's slightly broken. It doesn't quite click into place. So this is something that I'm not that worried about losing. So it's something I travel with a lot. Pop that in one corner. Now, I'm going to do some video work while I'm out. So I'll be taking the iPad that I'm currently using to record. Looks like there's going to be plenty of space for it. So it's got an iographer case, and the iographer case I bought with a couple of lenses. So I might as well bring them. Can be good fun. And if I'm bringing those, I should also bring my little clip that allows me to use those same lenses with my iPhone, because the iPhone is newer, has a much better camera, and 2 or 3 little accessories. Selfie stick for the phone, maybe a little bit cheap and nasty, but it can actually be quite useful in certain circumstances. And I have this. I'm not bringing a tripod, I don't have space for a tripod, so I have this clip with a tripod head that will allow me to mount my iographer anywhere, but the iPad is a little bit heavy, not great for mounting on that, so I would prefer to use my iPhone, and therefore I'll be packing this little spring mount to put my phone in. Now they all fit in, and I have loads of space left. I don't really have anything else apart from, of course, actually the mic. You may be wondering why this is a microphone. It looks like a sock. Yes, I have the Video Mic Me, which you may know comes with its own fluffy wind cover. And in order to avoid getting dirt in the fur or getting it caught and torn off, I tend to keep it in an old sock. In fact, I keep it in an old sock that is torn, and I might show you why later on. But I'll put that in just now. I'm not using it at the moment for recording, so I'll put that in. I still have plenty of space, and I have very little left to put in. I have a couple of charging cables, and this is the case for the light I'm using to video at the moment, an Aperture Amaran M9. So I'll put the cables in there, and I'll be putting the light in when I'm finished. Fits in quite nicely. There is still a little bit of space. I will be travelling to the airport wearing a scarf, a hat, some gloves. I don't think they'll all quite go in. Actually, looks like they do. So this seems to be closing up fine. I'm not sure. Yeah, and I would say there's probably enough space in there for my iPad as well in the iographer case. So yeah, it looks like this trip is pretty doable. So the last thing to put in is my passport. Well, that seems to have worked quite well. All that's left for me to do is put the iPad and the camera equipment away in that bag, put my coat on, grab my wallet, head off for a bus. I'll see when I get to Brussels if I have packed enough or if I find myself just wishing I had a few more things with me. But anyway, it will be interesting to find out what it's really like to travel Ryanair Light.